Welcome back! Well, we have talked to just about everybody here on the expo grounds, and right now we are proceeding forward with Operation Breakup. After quizzing Edna about what she likes about Emmett, she listed 3 qualities. He's got a virtuous mind, he cleans up nicely, and he's faithful to her. Well, it looks like right now our only hope is to convince her that he doesn't possess those qualities somehow. And the only option we've really got now is to go to Doc's lab and see what young Emmett is up to. So let's see if we can figure out a plan while we're there.
Hang on, Emmett. Hope you're ready for a big breakup.
Thankfully we found the skateboard in that Hill Valley of the Future display.
Emmett?
What's he doing here?
Thanks again for your assistance, Detective Parker.
Detective? What the hell is Kid doing here?
Nothing criminal, I assure you. I was just getting a mind map of Mr. Tannen for our exhibition at the expo. The authorities wouldn't allow Edna and I to stage a demonstration of the mental alignment meter with a violent felon, but this little baby is just as good. Okay, let's see now what's next. Check the stew, sort the maps. Ooh, I almost forgot that.
Edna really is cracking the whip, isn't she?
Well, yes, but she's got my best interests at heart. Without her, I can get so distracted. Did she send you down here to check up on me?
Yeah, she wanted to come herself, but...
She's busy too, I know. Well, you're a poor substitute for Edna's lovely features, but make yourself at home.
Thanks.
No thanks are necessary. Without you, I'd never be where I am now. In love with the woman of my dreams, and a mere 6 hours from my first public triumph as a scientist. Wait a minute. 6 hours? Jumping Jehoshaphat, I'm running out of time!
Yeah, it's kind of ironic to think about the fact that Marty set the events in motion that led to Doc or Emmett falling in love with Edna. Kind of makes me not want to go back to the past and affect the timeline again. Who knows what we're going to do this time around. But unfortunately, it's our only hope. Well, Emmett's got a whole room full of stuff here. Looks like we've got quite a bit to look at, and I'm actually going to start over on this side. Let's see what he's got here. This seems to be this mental alignment meter thing that he's getting ready for the expo. Maybe he can tell us more about it.
How does the mental alignment thing work?
Here, I'll show you.
Hey!
The test subject wears this mind-mapping helmet, which probes the brain by measuring fluctuations in skin conductance and electrical resistance on the surface of the parietal lobe.
Uh-huh.
When I turn on the mind-mapping helmet with this radio switch, the subject is exposed to a series of visual stimuli, intended to provoke a series of positive or negative responses, as indicated by these lights on the helmet.
Hey, is that...
As the responses are recorded, they're relayed to this special typewriter, which prints out a punch card that represents the subject's mind map.
All I see is a bunch of holes.
Well, to you, maybe. But to our mental alignment meter, this mind map is nothing less than a peek into your subconscious. Observe as I place your mind map into the MAM.
Layabout. Is that machine calling me a slacker?
No, your own physiological responses did.
That's a pretty silly way to measure one's character, I gotta say. I mean, just seeing what your mind thinks of different kinds of people. What if you didn't even know who they are? I mean, what if some random person saw that picture of Trixie and didn't even know who she was? Oh well. Let's see what this fish tank has been doing here. Looks like all of Emmett's old equipment that we were using to build the rocket fuel is still around.
How goes the bacteria farm?
Not so hot. The bacteria have kind of gotten out of control. I had to put a clamp on the nitrogen tube to keep the stench from flooding the lab.
So I wonder what happens if we twist this valve.
Phew.
Ugh. Did the clamp fall off again?
Yeah.
Put it back on. Well, I don't even know why I keep that bacteria tank around. Every time the clamp falls off the nitrogen tube, it takes a couple of minutes before I can get the stench out of the air. Whew.
Looks like the helmet functions even when someone is not taking the test. And in this case, it looks like that particular stimulus provoked a negative reaction in Doc.
What's this?
That's a can of used motor oil, rocket fuel waste, and assorted chemical sludge left over from my abandoned rocket car.
Gross.
Accounting doesn't enter into it, but it is disgusting. Would you mind disposing of it on your way out?
Sure.
You never know when that might come in handy. Nothing more to see on this table. What about this one? Here's the stew pot here that we used to pump the bellows and all that stuff.
Hey, Emmett, what's cooking?
That's an old Brown family recipe for Hassenpfeffer.
Hassenpfeffer.
Rabbit stew. The trick is to add the cumin an hour after the carrots. Take a whiff. Isn't that just about the best thing you've ever smelled in your life?
It's, powerful, yeah.
I've got it on a slow boil for later.
I don't know what Hassenpfeffer smells like, but it seems like Doc likes it, and Marty, maybe not so much. I tend to not really like strong smells either, so I can understand what Marty's feeling right now.
What's this?
It's the placard we'll be putting in front of our booth at the expo.
The scientist that caught Kid Tannen?
A small exaggeration, but Edna says it'll attract investors. What do you think of the picture?
Looks like these claims about Emmett single-handedly catching Kid Tannen are already starting to surface here. Also, this picture looks kind of... I don't know what to say about it.
You look a little... constipated.
That's what I was looking for.
Edna said I looked intense.
Yeah, intensely focused on taking it.
I get the picture. I'll have to find a better one. Unfortunately, there's a lot to choose from.
Heavy.
Extremely. Mother has been rather obsessive about photographically cataloging my life.
Alrighty. Let's see, anything else here on this table? Doesn't look like it. What about this generator? We used this earlier.
I'd be careful of that if I were you.
Why?
The rocket fuel experiment must have stripped one of the teeth in the hand crank. As a consequence, if you turn it for more than 10 seconds, it... Whoa! Sends out an electric shock.
Looks like that understandably provoked a negative reaction in Doc. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that.
No!
Sorry, Doc. Let's see, I wanted to click on the projection screen here.
Hey, could we watch Frankenstein on this?
Sorry, Harry, but I need this projector to trigger positive and negative visual stimuli for my mental alignment tests. Besides, a movie like Frankenstein should really be watched on a big screen, don't you think?
I agree. Well, this mental alignment meter thing seems to be something that Edna values as a tool to measure character. And right now we've got various mind maps here, one for Emmett and another one for Kid. So I wonder what would happen if we slipped Kid's mind map into Emmett's slot.
The mind of a degenerate criminal.
That's Kid Tannen's mind map, as captured by our mind map helmet.
You could tell he's a criminal just by looking at this?
No, but when it's fed into the mental alignment meter...
Weird.
Weird nothing. It's science.
I don't know if I call that science exactly. But on second thought, maybe we shouldn't try that angle because these mind maps actually have names printed on them. And just simply switching them really wouldn't accomplish much.
If I'm gonna take Emmett's mind map, I better replace it with another one.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. So how are we going to go about doing this? Well, right now, what's helping us here is that Emmett is wearing the helmet. And we've just observed that we can trigger various stimuli even though a test is not going on right now. And even though he's not looking at the screen, we can trigger certain things in the room that will make him feel certain things. So if we turn this on... Why are there Greek letters on that, by the way? We can start the test. Now, at this point, it appears that if we were to try to go inside the mind of Edna, people on the screen who looked virtuous or are people of authority or whatever would provoke positive responses in order to get the model citizen distinction, whereas people who are criminals or are slackers or whatever would need negative responses. But since we want Emmett's mind map to read negatively, so that Edna is more convinced that he's not a virtuous citizen, then we would need to get the opposite results of what Edna would normally want. Thankfully, if you click on each of these pictures, Marty gives you a bit of a hint toward this.
It's a picture of Edna. Since Emmett's got the hots for her, I guess she's supposed to provoke a positive response.
Now, don't let this trick you, because even though Marty says she's supposed to provoke a positive response, we're not going to go with what's supposed to happen. We're just trying to go for the opposite of that. So let's do something that Emmett won't like. Let's turn this. I don't want to shock him again. That would just be mean.
Ew!
Oh.
Okay, now that Emmett's helmet is on the red light, let's advance the slide. Looks like the light there on the typewriter is also red. So it looks like an entry was inputted into the mind map, kind of Scantron type thing there. So let's see, who is this a picture of? John Wilkes Booth.
Wait, I know that. That's John Wilkes Booth, the guy that shot Lincoln. So, I guess he's supposed to be a negative figure.
Thankfully, Marty tells you who John Wilkes Booth is in case you don't know. But we want John Wilkes Booth to be a positive figure, so let's use the stew pot here to get Doc back up to green territory.
Ah, that smells much better. Careful, don't let all the flavor escape.
There we go. Alright, let's advance the slide again. This is kind of a bit of a tedious puzzle, and it may take a few attempts before you can get it completely right. Looks like that's Officer Parker. I have to wonder if these are concept art drawings of the various characters in the game. Although I guess John Wilkes Booth isn't really a character in this game, but still. I'm not really going to click on the pictures anymore. I mean, you guys pretty much know how this works out. Let's get that helmet down to red.
Ew.
Okay, and let's advance once more. Who's that guy? Let's see if the description of the screen says anything. Photo of a tannin. Okay, so I'm guessing that this guy is supposed to provoke a negative response for model citizens, so let's get the light up to green again.
Ah.
Wonder who this tannin is. We don't really know.
That smells good.
Alright, advance once more. Who in the world is that? Photo of innocent-looking child. Let's see what Marty has to say about this.
Hey, I remember that picture from Edna's apartment in 1986. It's a kid and a relative of Edna, so it's probably a positive figure.
Yeah, you may not have clicked on the picture in 1986, but we did earlier, and this is actually a picture of Vice Principal Strickland. So we want to make this a negative one.
Ew. Ew.
Alright. And a picture of what appears to be Trixie. Let's see what Marty has to say about her for fun.
Trixie. I don't think Edna approves of her, so I guess she's a negative figure.
And since she's a negative figure, let's get that light back up to green. There's all this stuff in the air.
That smells good.
Alright, and let's advance again. Looks like that is the end of the test. Uh-oh.
Hey, Emmett, I think your mind map test is broken.
Oh, that switch just keeps shoring out on me. No time to fix it now. I'll have to take care of it at the expo.
Looks like I'm not going to be doing any more mind maps. I guess I'll test this out and hope for the best.
That's basically your signal that you've done it correctly. Let's use this mind map on the alignment meter. Perfect.
Bingo! Now Emmett's mind map is as bad as Tannen's. Now all I have to do is swap this out with Emmett's original mind map and Emmett's own machine will do him in.
Alrighty, I kind of feel bad doing this, but it's kind of the only way.
Okay, Emmett. Get ready to meet the new you.
Hey!
What?
I almost left behind my mind map card. We're gonna show it off at the expo as a rare example of a model citizen. Edna kill me if I forgot that.
She might kill you anyway when she gets a look at that mind map. Once Emmett gets to the expo, I'll try to figure out how to get him to put his card in the mental alignment meter. But for now, I better concentrate on making Emmett a slob who cheats on his girlfriend.
Yeah, we still have yet to take care of the cleanliness part as well. I don't think we've checked this out yet.
I Don't Care by Trixie Trotter?
Edna doesn't approve of that sort of music, but I find it very soothing. Oh.
They say I'm crazy, got no sense, but I don't care. They may or
That's
may
the
not
second
be
of the
my
positive stimuli here in the room, but I didn't really want to use this because I didn't want the song in the background during the commentary and whatnot, so I decided not to do that.
That's why I don't care.
Well, let's go ahead and leave for now. We'll come back here a bit later.
Hey, Emmett, I've got to go out for a while.
I thought Edna sent you to make sure I wasn't getting distracted.
Oh, you'll be fine.
I'm surprised Edna let him keep that record. Alright, well we'll continue looking around here and talking to folks in the next video.